All right, welcome back. Worst of 10. We're going to do ads first or start sits?
We'll do startings.
All right, go ahead and start us off with starts.
I have Jordan
See, I made
Howard.
a little joke there. Starts at, never mind.
Nobody gets it.
Yeah, I know.
Jordan Howard is playing Jacksonville. Jags are giving up a lot of points to running backs. I think Howard's been playing.
He's had 2 good weeks in a row.
Yeah,
So.
it's impressive. So I would probably start him if you have him. Michael Thomas. I think he's playing versus Carolina this week. I think he's more of a sleeper pick.
Yeah, and a good bye week fill-in, actually, coming off a bye.
Yeah, he's had 6 red zone targets right now. He's kind of becoming that guy that Drew Brees is looking at.
And last week he led in receptions for the team last week. He's a great bye week fill-in.
So, yeah. And Larry Fitzgerald. You know, he's either going to have a week where he's either hot or he's cold. I think this week he's going to have a hot week.
I think for that team, he's been hot almost every week.
3 of his last 5 games.
As a receiver.
Had 5 TDs.
Yeah.
His last 3 games, I believe. So those are my stardoms.
And I'll go. We'll just go down the line of stardoms. I'm going to bring out Jamal Charles. Hopefully his ACL is fine, and he's going against the Raiders, so expect some big things out of him this week if he doesn't get hurt again.
Guess we'll know.
Yeah, we will. Lamar Miller going against the Colts defense, and I've already said the Colts have no rushing defense at all. If you have Lamar Miller, he's a sure start, along with C.J. Anderson from the Broncos going up against the Chargers defense. I threw a 4th one in there too. I like really Christian Michael going against Atlanta, the Falcons defense as well. So that might be a little bit more of a high-scoring game. Seattle's still going to win by 2 or 3 touchdowns, and they'll put that.
Who are they playing?
Atlanta Falcons.
Where are they playing, or who? It's Atlanta.
No, who?
But I don't even think it really matters. I think it's at Atlanta though. Go ahead with your stardoms.
All right, I have Buffalo defense against San Fran. In Buffalo, I think they're just going to eat them alive, hopefully.
Colin Kaepernick's going to be on his knees a lot.
Yeah, at least to start the game.
Yeah.
I apologize. When we did pre-writing, I do have Lamar Miller. I'm sorry.
Oh,
but no problem. But I have versus Indy. Indy's still 4th in running back. Lamar Miller's 4th in running back touches, so he's still a hot running back. And Indy's 3rd most in points to all running backs. And then I have Wilson versus Atlanta. Did you have that too? You did have Wilson.
No, Christian Michael.
Versus Atlanta. One of the worst pass defenses Atlanta is in the NFL. So I think Wilson will throw the ball around a lot. And I'll start sits, and we'll go back this way. Matt Jones against Philly. Matt Jones has been really bad. 3.6 points last week versus the Ravens. And Philly's been a great defense against the run, against really everything.
The only person they've allowed more than 50 yards rushing against them is Isaiah Crowell with the Browns.
Yeah, and he's actually been a great running back.
Yeah.
And was on waivers for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Should have picked him up. But Matt Jones is really a spot start only. So if you have him, just leave him on your bench until you absolutely need him. And then Eli Manning versus the Ravens. He's had 14 points or fewer in his last 4 games. And the Ravens defense has given up fewer than 15 points to every quarterback this year. So Eli really hasn't, with all the weapons he has, really hasn't done anything with them. And then I have, as a sit, my last sit, Phillip Rivers versus Denver. Denver's at top 5 still, top 5 defense against the pass. And Aqib Talib still might be armed with a firearm, so if he doesn't shoot himself, he might shoot a receiver. So you just don't know. So I would sit Phillip Rivers also.
We should have talked because I had 2 of those too.
Oh crap!
That's fine.
Sorry.
But I also say let's sit Isaiah Crowell, even though we were talking big about him. He's going against Tennessee, and the Titans have had a surprisingly really good rushing defense this year. They hurt my guy Amir Abdullah when I was bragging about him, but they hurt him like on the 4th play.
Or Abdullah, is he coming back at all this year?
You know, the rumors saying he could be coming back in like week 12, week 13, but I wouldn't count on anything. That's something.
I like him.
I do. He's your favorite ISIS player.
He is.
But that's just he's probably the Lions are probably smart. Just sit him for until next season, unless they're in in a chase for a wild card. But go ahead, Daniel.
I have Kirk Cousins versus Philadelphia. Go ahead and sit him this week. Eagles are allowing the second fewest yards to a QB. So what's funny is in one of my leagues, I have Phillip Rivers and Kirk Cousins. So if I had to pick between those two,
Flip a coin.
Flip a coin, yeah. So I don't know. Alan Hearns, I have him on one of my rosters too. I haven't started him once this season.
Yeah.
Hasn't done much, and he's say what you want about the Bears. I mean, they have been awful, but they've only allowed 4 TDs to wide receivers this year. That's the one good stat they have going for him. And Hearns is probably going to be a ghost in that.
Hearns
game.
hasn't done
He
anything
hasn't done
this year.
shit. I mean, he
kind of
really
a
has been
bust.
quiet.
It's
People
not that
blame-
Blake Bortles has been playing bad. He's been playing pretty good.
Yeah.
He has.
So-
And they've been playing from behind a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just Hearns hasn't got the targets.
Yeah.
Right.
They've all been going to Robinson.
Theo Riddick versus the Rams. I think he exploded last week in Yahoo League. I think he exploded for 20, 21 points.
Yeah.
So he's been doing good, but the Rams defense is the Rams defense. I don't think he has, too big of a day.
That was
I don't know.
That was-
Sean McCoy went off for 150 yards.
That was really Theo Riddick's best game of the year.
Yeah.
Before that, he had 21 carries for 40 yards. And you're right, the Rams are going to shut him down. He's going to get less than 2 yards a carry, and who knows, they might have 3 guys in the backfield.
Yeah, they might. They might have a nice rotation there.
We added some. We have some waiver wire pickups. I
Yep.
have Quincy Unumwa. I think we've picked him before. I've actually dropped him and picked him up already in one of my
Yeah,
leagues twice.
because Eric Decker's out for the season.
Eric Decker's out, so he's going to be the number 2 guy for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So
Talented guy.
Yeah. He's definitely a guy to look for. Brian Hoyer. I mean, the last 3 games, Hoyer for Chicago has looked pretty sharp. He's got 1,029 yards passing and 6 TDs just in the last 3 games. People don't want Jay Cutler back. I mean, I think they're pretty much like fucking.
Jay Cutler was always throwing.
Martellus
back
Bennett
foot
doesn't
everywhere.
like Jay Cutler. Just watch E60 tonight.
That's right. So, I know. A guy that I kind of might put on the bubble here is Jalen Richard from Oakland. He could be a good flex this week. If you haven't heard who Jalen Richard is, he's the one that's also been sharing the load in Oakland with Washington and Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray still may have turf toe. I don't know how many carries he gets this week, so I don't know. Maybe Richard's.
Sure, the load. That's what the other she said.
Quiet, hot mic. I
All
got
right, Billy Bush. Go ahead.
better than Barbara Bush. Trump was going to make those comments. At least he didn't make it in front of Barbara Bush. To Quiz Rogers. I think either him or Peyton Barber, somebody's going to be taking a load for the Tampa Bay Bucks this week. Taking a load. Doug Martin and Charles Sims are still out, so you can take a flyer on one of those guys. I said Fozzie Whitaker last week. I still like him. Good pickup for Carolina. James White is getting more playing time as the season progresses, and he seems to the better that Tom Brady does, and since Tom Brady's back now, James White is a good complement to him at running back. So watch for him to get a lot more carries than LeGarrette Blount. I have a couple others. Terrell Williams, wide receiver, San Diego. Since Keenan has been out, Keenan Allen's been out. He's had 20% of the receptions. He's got some speed, so if he does get a few receptions, he could probably make or break a 50 or 60 yard pass for a touchdown. If you're looking for, you'd be looking for somebody as a number 3 wideout. And then Jeremy Curley, wide receiver for San Francisco. Believe it or not, he is the leading wide receiver.
Yeah.
Receptions for San Francisco, and he's probably owned in like 2% of the leagues.
Yeah,
So.
but that was with the Missouri quarterback.
That was with
but
with,
now with Kaepernick, you don't know what kind of chemistry.
He might. Well, you might not know about kind of chemistry. Or you might get more production out of him.
You might.
So
Risk reward.
yeah, you gotta sometimes roll that dice.
Yep. So here's my ads real quick. Cameron Meredith, wide receiver for Chicago, lit it up last week. 103 yards, 1 touchdown. Number 2 guy coming in for Kevin White, next to Alshon Jeffries, who also is a little banged up. Kevin White, I think, is out for the season. Is that right?
He is.
Yeah. So this can be your number 2 wide receiver lined up with Alshon Jeffries. They face Jacksonville this week, who is not that great against wide receivers and could be a shootout. And then my other ad is Charles Clay, Buffalo tight end. They're putting it together with new offensive coordinator. He led the team last week with 73 yards, and now against San Francisco, they've allowed 10 passing touchdowns this year. So I think Buffalo would take advantage of that defense, and I think Charles could at least have a touchdown and at least 73 yards, probably more.
73.
73, yeah.
Okay. I heard it here.
Yep.
All right.
So that's our show this week. Check us out on Facebook, also Worse Than 10, also on Twitter, and thanks for watching. We'll be back next week.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.